Oklahoma's own News on 6 starts now.
A Broken Arrow couple accused last year of sexually assaulting a teenage boy has been found not guilty. The jury acquitted Kimberly and Christopher Wamigo last night after 2 hours of deliberation on all of several counts of child sexual abuse. Christopher was also found not guilty of lewd proposal to a child. News on 6's Eric Payne spoke with Christopher's attorneys today. Eric, what did he have to say?
Shannon, he wants to emphasize just how fair this week's trial was. Ultimately, the jury decided that Christopher and Kimberly Wamigo were not guilty.
This is Kimberly and Christopher Wamigo. I sat down with Christopher's attorney, MJ Denman, to talk about what he says led to the not guilty verdict.
I believe the expectations of the jury were that it would be a fair and objective investigation, that the motive to lie would be thoroughly fleshed out as much as the complaining witness's story.
Denman says the trial was the first time anyone has been able to question the victim and find holes in his story. The teenager says the abuse started when he was 11 and continued until he was 14. He's 16 now. In testimony, the victim says he was forced to watch and participate in sexual acts with both Kimberly and Christopher at their home and on trips. But Denman says during cross-examination, several parts of his story didn't make sense.
Note the inconsistencies in his story. And it was also the first time we had an opportunity to challenge why the detective in this case failed to investigate any of the complaining witness's motive to lie.
He says now Kimberly and Christopher Wamigo will be working to slowly rebuild their lives after the not guilty verdict. They lost their house, car, and jobs in the year and a half since the allegations went public.
They're destitute. Now that they've been acquitted, in essence vindicated, they're going to spend a good portion of their near future trying to rebuild a life.
He tells me he's just happy that justice was finally served. Live in Tulsa, Eric Payne, Oklahoma's own News on 6.